All right, hands up if you're a business owner concerned about the growth of your business, or perhaps you've been hired by a business to help them grow. Either way, you're accountable for bringing in leads. As I talked about in another video, this is not a simple task, especially today.
Ugh. That just sounds hard.
There are literally hundreds of marketing channels and tactics. There are also millions of other businesses out there that are just like yours, using these channels towards similar goals. 6 million of them on Facebook alone. And you're no longer just competing with other companies either. People aren't sitting there waiting for your ads while they're online. They're mostly there to learn and interact with other people. There are 500,000 posts on LinkedIn, 14 million articles pinned on Pinterest, 95 million photos uploaded to Instagram, 450 million status updates on Facebook, 500 million tweets on Twitter, and over 40 billion messages on WhatsApp are posted daily on these platforms alone.
Holy forking shirt!
So yeah, more channels, more competition, and more uncertainty. And though there are no silver bullets or one-size-fits-all answers, there is something that you can do to help break through that noise more successfully. It's called
a strategy.
Okay, all right, I'm ready. Let's do this.
My name is Tara, and this is Truly Strategic. First, let's talk about short-term versus long-term marketing. You need both, and depending on where your business is at, you'll need to shift the balance of the two. In their study, The Long and the Short of It, Binet and Peter Field came to the conclusion that marketers should invest 60% of their budgets in long-term brand building and 40% in short-term sales activation. But this formula isn't a one-size-fits-all either. They talk about the multiple contextual factors that shift this percentage all the time, such as sectors, audience, pricing, whether emotional or rational consideration drives the purchase, and the size of the brand. If you're an unknown, for instance, that formula may shift in the other direction.
Who are you? You're nobody!
But it really isn't about formula. Brand building, which is equivalent to the creation of an emotional connection that I talked about in my video, Can Companies Have Relationships?, includes the longer-term, higher-touch tactics such as content, community engagement, customer service, public relationships, sponsorships, and such. All of these require a longer-term investment and are not driven by campaigns as much as the creation of a consistent experience. The core driver of this brand building is the emotional connection, and we can all recall that ad campaign that touched us emotionally, helping us feel a little bit better about that brand.
Why not reach out and touch someone?
But as I mentioned before, there are lots of channels and tactics to choose from, and most companies don't have the time, resources, or money to cover everything. So the key here is to figure out what the most effective path forward looks like. In fact, the key is to find the right channels and tactics to reach your best customer. So the first thing you'll need is to understand, who is that?
Get to know me, Stan. I'm amazing.
I'll be diving into this term specifically in a later post or video, but in a nutshell, we define your best customer as someone who, number one, needs or desires what you're selling.
Ooh, gimme.
This could include someone who doesn't know they need you yet, but it doesn't include the entire world. That's important to understand. Number two, can and is willing to pay for what you're selling.
Shut up and take my money.
This may seem obvious, but too many companies try to target the wrong audiences who are happy to get freebies and discounts, but won't go on to be paying customers. And number three, talks to others who are just like them.
I know a lot of people, sure.
This is really important because you may have several eligible mindsets of customers, but the best one to start with is the one that will help you spread the word. It's also helpful to find the customer that is underserved by the competition, but having competitors for their attention is not a deal breaker either.
I have no competition.
So notice how we don't say target market or persona or any other term that dehumanizes this customer. Finding your best customer means that you understand how you can connect with them. What are their hopes and dreams? What keeps them up at night? It's about listening and really understanding them. You'll also find out where they're most likely to come across your message. Once you've found your best customer, you can map out their buying journey. Are they going to search for the answers? Are they hanging out on LinkedIn? Maybe they're not online much at all and they're getting most of their advice through, like, I don't know, magazine or local community events.
I mean, a human being is a complex and dangerous creature.
Knowing the audience, your best customer, will help uncover the right opportunities to appear along their buyer journey. The channels, the tactics, the messaging, the brand building versus activation mix, that'll all flow from there, from that understanding. That's all that strategy is. It's simple.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
I mean, it's simple, but not easy, because finding that best customer and mapping their journeys and getting all of that right takes time and listening and patience that I know many of you do not have, which is where the mix of that short-term tactical approach can also help speed things up. The important thing is that it isn't at the expense of that long-term relationship.
Sounds good to me.
My name is Tara, and this has been Truly Strategic.